Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love, and I'm Reverend Tomas Garza. We're in the midst of the Song of Prayer, one of the two supplements to A Course in Miracles. And we've looked already at the psychotherapy purpose, process, and practice supplement. And the Song of Prayer has talked about prayer and forgiveness up to this point. And today we're going to embark on the third and final section of this supplement entitled Healing. All right, who doesn't want to talk about that? Healing is something that is, well, it's all over the spiritual arena, isn't it? The spiritual marketplace. If one wants, it's entirely possible to open up a social media feed and see dozens and dozens of healers, people that do different types of healing, that heal using different modalities. So let's take a look here. According to this thought system, what healing is and what it's not. Now, the intro to this section on healing, the introduction, is very short. In fact, it's one paragraph only. It's a very short paragraph at that. And Jesus invites us, cautions us, if you will, to not overemphasize healing, to not overemphasize it. It's something that happens along the way. Now, let's understand that forgiveness, true forgiveness, is what we do. Healing happens as a result of that. Now, we've seen in other parts of the course that healing is done at the level of the mind. This entire course is done at the level of the mind, and the physical body may or may not follow suit, often does. Money, the world that appears outside of us, may or may not rearrange itself with our own rearranging of our own mind. But it often does. Those external goals are not the point. We're invited, and if you prefer, really, if you prefer challenged, to seek the peace of God and only the peace of God. Set that as the goal. Everything arranges itself for you to meet it. Done that. So the very first segment on healing here talks about what healing is and what it is not. So what's the cause? Remember, A Course in Miracles emphasizes cause as being different from effect. Our mind is the cause. So everything that appears to be outside that we're forgiving is the product of our own mind. Mind is the cause. The external world, including this thing right here, is an effect. The Course operates at the level of cause and not effect. The ego, suffering, hell, is properly dealt with at the level of cause, not effect. You could change the physical body in many ways and still leave the ego intact, perfectly intact. Why? Because you might still believe yourself to be separate from everyone else, from God, from everyone. This is what happens when we go forth in the world and we seek goals like a black late model Mercedes-Benz or a hotter, sexier, younger looking bod. We may get that, yet the ego is still intact, yet we still aren't satisfied. Why? We've been spending our effort in the wrong place. That's all. We all do this, and we all feel that, well, we must be leaving something on the table here because I'm still not happy. Got this late model Mercedes. Guess what? Somebody ran into it the other day in the parking lot. It's got a big old dent in it now. Now I've got to deal with the insurance company. What the hell? Or I have physical aches and pains. Perhaps you've developed a chronic illness. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps you have a situation with your body where you're dissatisfied with the way it looks and feels. And there are many things that can show up in life. If we spend our time and effort on the effects, on the external, on this, then we may get changes in this, but we don't get the peace of God. So this course is a big, giant, long, and ongoing and repetitive, by design, invitation to seek the peace of God. The cause of sickness is unforgiveness of God's Son. This causes sickness. Unforgiveness of God's Son. Therefore, what heals? True forgiveness of God's Son. Now, paragraph 3 here, section 1 on healing states right up front that the physical body can be healed by true forgiveness. However, as we just talked about, the goal should properly be the peace of God. Peace, inner peace. Physical health can happen on the way. Money can pour in on the way. Fancy cars can pour in on the way, but that's not the point. When this course states that God is, that means only God is. Therefore, anything that changes at all in any way, like the condition of a car, like the condition of the physical body, like energy, anything that is mutable and changes in any way is not God. It's not the peace of God. The peace of God, which passes all of our concepts and words here in the world, it's beyond all of that. Yet it can be experienced. When we begin to have this experience, as we say, it's a game changer. It is. It is. So, true healing is accomplished at the level of the mind by true forgiveness. Now, a quick review. True forgiveness, as it's practiced here in the study, the practice of A Course in Miracles, is under the direction of the Holy Spirit. So we're invited to ask in any situation what we should do for the Son of God, the Holy Son of God. When we forgive, we are forgiving ourselves. What we forgive are the appearances. They appear to be outside of us, other people, events, space, time, the ego itself. Anything that makes us uncomfortable, that we appear to see in the world outside of us. That is symbolic of what's going on inside. We forgive what appears to be outside. The Holy Spirit is in charge of the deeper healing. We don't need to identify all of the deeper healing that's going on because it's unconscious. We don't even know about it, but the Holy Spirit certainly knows. He knows which external object corresponds to the unconscious guilt, the fear that we are unconsciously carrying around. He's in charge of that healing, as well as, if we allow him to be, the words that we use or don't use. But true forgiveness is an attitude where we acknowledge that we're forgiving a dream object, that we are dreaming. We forgive the external object. We forgive ourselves for dreaming it. Very important. And we trust the Holy Spirit. We release what we're forgiving to the Holy Spirit. We join with the Holy Spirit in peace and trust that He will heal the deep unconscious guilt. Spirituality is about learning to relax and trust. That's true forgiveness. That is the cause of true healing. And again, our unforgiveness, our lack of forgiveness, our judgment, our blame, all of the things that we do and say here in the world to further a sense of separate self are the cause of sickness, quite simply. Now, at this point, a lot of people protest, but, well, there is no physical body, in fact. In truth, it does not exist. There is a very good reason why the course has us repeat in the workbook for students. If you have done the workbook, or if you're there, you'll get, if you're not there yet, you'll get to lessons 201 through 220. And the very often quoted and famous saying from the course, it's the workbook idea, 20 straight days. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. I am not a body. You are not a body. We are not physical bodies that change and frickin' decay, no matter what kind of care we take of them. This is not who the Son of God is. On the contrary, the Son of God is free. The Son of God is one with God. We're not limited in any way. So how could we possibly be limited to this thing? You can't be. Unforgiveness is the cause of sickness. True forgiveness sets us free. That is the cause of healing. Just like that. Now, as we wrap up here, just a quick reminder that the true forgiveness that we're talking about is in direct and, I hope, stark contrast to what Jesus calls in the Song of Prayer forgiveness to destroy, the forms of forgiveness that people practice on each other here in the world, such as holding something over someone's head for an indefinite period of time, perhaps years, or bargaining and compromising, wanting to get something from somebody, and if they don't give it to you, then you withhold your supposed charity of forgiveness, all kinds of things. True forgiveness is not that. So forgiveness, of course, is often understood. That's the reason why we're spending so much time on it, of course. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me, as always. And the red arrow button here at the bottom corner of your screen is a subscription button. Feel welcome to subscribe here. And I'm here with content on A Course in Miracles. And I really want to invite you to reach out to me. I'm here to be of help and assistance to you on your journey. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I began this video series, and it's why I continue this video series, because I don't know who I'm going to reach, and I don't know what I've said or am going to say that is going to completely impact your trajectory in a positive way. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, please feel welcome to leave them, and I will see you again very soon here.